episode number 14. This is the Warrior Room number 14.
Oh shit.
I'm Shaun, Campbell 2.0. This is
JP.
What's up? The last videos, I tried to edit it to take out topics, but we rambled and went on tangents so much. It creates so much work for me. Like I'm like, okay, I want to get that time we talked about Jake Paul.
And I think that's saying a lot to say that we rambled and went on tangents a lot, because that's kind of what we do.
Yeah, so I think, and I was trying to think, okay, we got to be more structured, but then we're going to take away from
The flow.
the flow and the mystery topics that come up.
Yeah.
Because even right now, we're sitting here, we had a sort of an idea of one thing we'll talk about, but we're going to talk about 10 different things, but I don't even know
Where's it going to go?
right now what we're going to
Where's it going to go?
Because they were like last episode.
Oh,
We talked about Tyson Fury.
Yeah.
That wasn't on the plan.
I don't even remember where that came from.
And that was like something that on YouTube people loved it.
Yeah.
So
It's good stuff.
that's good stuff, yeah.
There you go.
So I don't know. So let's just start talking. I think we got one cool thing to talk about to get things started with the Vaughan Fitness Expo.
Breaking news.
Breaking news. Unless you're on Instagram, then you've already seen it. Breaking news. Bells of Steel is a silver sponsor of the Vaughan Fitness Expo on July 9th.
That's good stuff. Good stuff. Oh yeah.
Yeah, JP uses their equipment. I have their adjustable squat racks.
Oh yeah.
Those are freaking amazing. You got it if you do in-home stuff and you want like a space. What is it called?
Space saving.
Space saver, and you want to get some equipment, and they've even got like little wheels so you can move it around. Like they're the best I've ever used, right? And, and I looked everywhere for those things, and then all of a sudden Bells of Steel, and I was like, oh.
They got all sorts of stuff too, right? Like, they got like, all sorts of like commercial grade, like, big ass squat racks and like,
Oh no, it's insane. Like
they got everything, right?
Like you find out how respected they are in the powerlifting community. Because I know all these powerlifters. After I made the announcement on Instagram, I had like some guys who compete in powerlifting and said, "Oh my God, good job getting Bells of Steel on board."
Yeah.
Because they're really well respected in the powerlifting world.
Oh yeah.
That was kind of cool.
That's
and
it.
then had like a few people that have home gyms. They said, "Man, my whole home gym has Bells of Steel."
Yeah.
So Bells of Steel is a big deal.
Big deal, man.
So we're pumped to have them on board.
Oh yeah.
So yeah, so thanks. So Bells of Steel.
That's it.
Check them out. It's at Bells of Steel on Instagram.
Yep.
And then it says bellsofsteel.com on website.
There we go.
There you go. So that's the big news for that. So athletes, start getting ready. We just did a little math here, or JP did.
Yeah.
And what'd you say it was?
17 weeks and 2 days till July 9th.
Yeah, so you got basically, by the time you see this in a few days, basically you got 17 weeks to get ready, which is lots of time.
Oh yeah.
So start getting ready and start letting us know you're competing, man. Let's get the word out. Let's get hyped.
Yeah.
Because the expo part's going to be nuts.
Yeah.
And we're still sitting on some really big news that we can't launch until we got it 100% accurate.
This close.
Like JP's killing me on this. It's like right there. Like JP's got some big news sitting here.
Well, once it's announced, it's kind of a big deal.
It's kind of a big deal.
Yeah, that's it.
You know when you have that like, kind of a big deal in your back pocket, and you're like, but you can't say it.
Can't say it yet.
That's when you know the Vaughan Expo's a big deal.
Oh,
You
yeah.
got stuff that you can't even announce.
Oh yeah.
That's good.
It's coming.
That's good. It's better to have stuff you can't announce. That's coming soon. I'm gonna put it right here. Vaughan Fitness Expo.
Oh snap.
So the Vaughan Fitness Expo was exciting. So yeah.
Getting a good buzz, that's for sure.
Yeah, we got some new exhibitors on board, but I don't want to announce things. I'm gonna make a big announcement when I announce all the exhibitors are gonna be in the exhibitor space. So there should be a lot. By the time July 9th comes up, it's gonna be packed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's it. It's like
Woo!
kind of a big deal.
How about we in the theme of we go on tangents, we're gonna show you how much we don't plan this out. JP, what do you want to talk about next? I'm just gonna throw it at JP, whatever you want to talk about, I'm willing to talk about. But you know what not to talk about, okay? Okay, I don't even know where we're gonna go, but JP's gonna bring up a topic and we're gonna go with it.
Well, you know what? Like, because even like off camera there, like, because we have there's almost like an hour of conversation that happens like before the camera even comes on.
That's why we need a video guy.
We need a video guy just follow us around.
Just follow us around and let
Shit just happens.
and let them create the story out of it.
Yeah.
Because that's where the hard work comes. Because when we ramble and tangents, holy shit, the editing is tough for me.
Yeah. UFC.
Okay, I'll talk UFC. I love UFC.
UFC was just on this past
week. If you're UFC fans, this is gonna be a nice little episode for you.
So yeah, UFC was on this past weekend.
Yeah.
News was Jon Jones coming back after 3 years.
That was nuts. Yeah.
You know, putting on some weight to move up to the heavyweight division and challenging for the title right away, right? You know, and well, we started talking about this off camera, and it was just like the ease with which he did this.
contest at 2 minutes, 4 seconds of the very first round. Declared the winner by submission due to a guillotine choke and...
First and foremost, you know what's coming. I gotta give thanks to my Lord and Savior, Jesus Christ. Jesus Christ. Without him, I would have never made it this far. And I tell you what, for all you prayer warriors out there, I felt you so strongly all week. And I just want to thank each and every one of you who prayed for me. Man, I'm so excited. I've been working for this for a long time. You know, a lot of people thought I wouldn't even be coming back. I would read that all the time. This dude's never coming back. But I've been faithful to my goal. I've been faithful to the mission. There were days where I did not want to train, and I was always there. I want to thank my family. I want to thank my beautiful fiance Chelsea for being my biggest support. I love you so much. My biggest supporter. My teammates back at home. Maurice Green, Romo, Dwight. All you guys that's been there for me. Enrique, I love you guys, man. My original teammates, I love you guys so much. My coaching staff here, Coach Greg Jackson, Randy Gibson, Brooks Alacard, Coach Aaron Siriano, Coach Alex Xavier. I got one of the best teams, man. I'm really a product of the men and women in my life. My beautiful daughters. Happy birthday, Olivia Haven Jones tonight. She's 13 years old. My beautiful family, my beautiful children, I love you all so much.
Jon, you said coming into this fight you thought it was going to be a mismatch, and you thought you were going to run right through him. You did exactly that. Was it at all surprising to you? Is that how you envisioned it?
I had this strong conviction that if I were to get him down to the ground, the fight would be in my area. I've been wrestling since I was 12 years old, and I feel stronger, more comfortable, especially on the ground than ever. With kickboxing, you never know what's going to happen these days. I said, there was a major filling out process. I actually felt a little goofy on the feet. It's been a while. But once I got my hands on him, I knew that that's where I was comfortable and that I could take control.
Now, you took no damage in this fight, and one of the conversations was about you fighting during International Fight Week in July and possibly fighting former champion Stipe Miocic. What do you think about that?
Oh, yeah. Y'all want to see me beat up Stipe? One thing I know about the UFC, to give the fans what they want to see. Stipe Miocic, I hope you're training, my guy. You're the greatest heavyweight of all time, and that's what I want. I want you, real bad.
Jon, it's been an honor to watch you become the youngest ever UFC champion. It's been an honor to watch you become the heavyweight champion, and I can't wait to see you again. Welcome back, and congratulations on achieving your goal.
Last thing.
It was ridiculous because people were expecting like it's going to be. They were even saying, "Oh, maybe he might not win. Maybe maybe this, maybe he's going to be rusty because the ring rust is a real thing they're saying. And he's also going to be heavier, so he's going to be slower.
He's going to be slower, and he's moving up against a bigger guy. And
this guy on his feet is really good. He's a world champion kickboxer, and he's also like the interim.
And this guy also, he was the interim.
He's also a basketball player. Like, he's basically an all-around athlete.
Right? And he went 5 rounds with
Ngannou,
the previous champ, Ngannou,
who's like a monster. So there was a lot riding on this, and it was like, but he made it look, So obviously by saying he made it look easy, we know Jon Jones won.
Yeah.
But he made it look so easy.
The way I described it was like, basically, it looked like you just, for his opponent, that you just grabbed some random dude out of the audience.
And that says a lot, because this guy is no random dude. He's like,
not a random.
If you look at the two stand beside each other, you say, oh my God, Jon, what do you get yourself into?
Yeah.
Because this guy's a beast. So
it was quick.
And it's almost like that curse that the greats have, where they make things look too easy. Where people think, oh, maybe then they start questioning. It's not that Jon Jones is so good. Maybe this guy's not as good as we thought he was. No, it's
something was wrong with this guy.
It's because this guy is so good, and he rises to the occasion.
Oh yeah.
Like, I think why in his career, like maybe 3 years ago, because he was starting to have a little bit closer fights, there was no big moment for him. There's no pressure. Like most people, 9.9 out of 10 people probably like falter a bit under pressure.
Oh yeah.
There's that rare few, like a Michael Jordan, LeBron James.
He thrives. He gets excited.
Yeah, they want that pressure moment. Like even Jordan or whatever. Like he's like, give me the ball. Everything's on the line here. If I miss this shot, we lose. If I miss this shot, I'm a hero. Give me the ball. Most people are like, shit, get the mic, man. Don't get to me. I don't want that pressure. Like, that's the same with Jon Jones. Like,
it was insane.
I probably feel more pressure watching him than he feels. Like the guy came in singing. Came out, did you see him come out? The champ is here. The champ is here, and he's like laughing, singing,
he's having a great time.
Dancing. It's like, what the hell? Hugging his brothers, because his brothers are superstar NFL athletes. So his family are just a bunch of beasts.
2 of them are like Super Bowl winners.
Oh shit.
It's just like,
And then you got your brother who's like the world champ.
That's it. Right?
UFC fighter. So he's, and then I'd say he's officially the GOAT. The greatest of all time.
You know what? You know what? Like, okay.
That's a crazy thing to throw around.
It's a crazy thing to throw around. I would be more ready to say that if he gets past Stipe. Stipe Miocic is next. Right?
Do you think, okay, let's make a prediction right now, because we can go back in this video. Because it's probably going to happen in July, because they're talking about international fight weekend in July, and that's like the big, that's the big thing for the UFC. So most likely it's happening there, unless something happens. What's your prediction? Just throw something out there.
That's a hard one. I'm gonna go with Jones. Right? And the main reason I'm gonna go with Jones, because one of the things I know that like, from the past that I don't like about Stipe is he leaves himself wide open. Right? Like he's like one of those like wide open type of guys, and it's just like
that. Oh my God.
You know, like he's just like, you're inviting it, right? Like, and he's had a hell of a chin for a number of years, right? But that shit adds up, man. Right? Like, dude's 40 now, right? Miocic, right? You know what I mean? Like, he's taken damage over the years.
I think he does exactly what he did to Cyril Gane. He does the same thing. I think he comes out, he fights him a little bit, he throws him down, he takes him out. I think it's going to be that easy.
Wow.
And he's going to make it look easy. He's going to do it within 1 round. That's my guess.
I'm calling it based on a knockout.
Oh shit! I think it's gonna be a submission of some sort. So you think knockout by Jon Jones?
I think knockout. I don't necessarily think it's.
You know what he's probably gonna get him with? He has those elbows. Nasty elbows. He gets in here, and you think he's gonna punch all. He starts throwing even throws like combinations. But one thing I did see recently in MMA, in the MMA discussions, because I'm on YouTube. So I'm busting my ass to be a YouTuber. I can't call myself a YouTuber yet. There's a status you must get to.
That's it.
Right now I would say I'm on YouTube. I'm trying hard to be a YouTuber. So I'm on YouTube a lot now. Like I'm watching videos, I'm watching, and I'm an MMA fan, so I'm watching a lot of MMA stuff because I'm on there anyways.
Yeah.
So they're saying where they're having a hard time with Jon Jones being the GOAT is that he's a heavyweight. Because there's a really good argument about this, saying that heavyweights typically aren't as good of athletes as the lighter weights. And here's another reason why we never even thought of
That's
before.
fair, yeah.
Okay, think of this. And this was a really good, they got deep with this, and I was like, that makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
So typically in the US or whatever, you get these massive athletes, right? And they're really athletic, they're massive, like Jon Jones' brothers.
Yeah.
They don't go into wrestling and UFC. They go into where the money is. They go to NFL, basketball.
Yeah.
So now you basically get the people who didn't make it to NFL and basketball in the MMA heavyweights, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Like, for example, Jon Jones' brothers, what if they went the UFC route?
Yeah.
They're even bigger and crazier than him. Apparently they used to beat up Jon when he was younger.
Yeah.
So and they're even joking around, they still could, which they probably can't.
Yeah.
Because they're not trained like he is. But they're basically saying, like, the crazy athletes that are huge, their goal is to make it to the NFL.
Yeah.
And then they make it.
Yeah.
Or even like a LeBron James to basketball. That guy's a big, scary, athletic dude.
Yeah.
Imagine if he went to UFC since he was like, imagine if he went to wrestling and grappling since he was like 5.
Yeah.
And didn't go to basketball. But it would make no sense why you wouldn't go to football or basketball. It's when you can't make it, it's when you go to their sports.
Yeah, right.
Or even like when we were younger in high school, grappling, all that. That's weird.
Yeah.
But if you want to be popular in high school and all the girls like you and all, and everyone knows who you are, you're on the basketball team, you're on the football team.
Football team, yeah.
So you know what I mean? So typically the big athletic people, that's what they did.
Yeah.
So that was their argument of why the heavyweights aren't as dominant as all the other weights. Because all these other lighter guys, they can't go. They're not going to NFL. Like the wrestling is their time. They're going to go.
That's their thing.
They're going for the world championships. They're going for, I'm going to be in the UFC.
Yeah.
You're 155 pounds, you're not saying I'm going to go to the NFL.
Right.
I'm going to go to the NBA.
Yeah.
That's not even like on your radar.
To like give out popcorn, like what are you going to do? Like, you know what I mean? Like
there's no chance.
No.
So so that's what they're saying, like the top athletes are going to be like your average size guys. The average weight male in shape is probably 155, 160, 170.
Yeah.
So in that area, and that's where you're going to find your best guys.
And one of the challenges I would say with that too is that like with when it comes to the heavyweights, like a big example of it too is just like how many times does a heavyweight defend his title if he wins the title? It's not much. It gets passed around so much, and that's one of the big reasons that Stipe is being considered like the GOAT. Right? I forget how many defenses that he had, right? But
for a while, he had it for a long time.
He had it for a little bit. Granted, they don't fight as frequent, the big dudes, right?
Just not as many.
But I can't remember if it was like maybe, is it 3 or 4 defenses?
I really think Jon's gonna take him out easy, like easy.
That'd be crazy.
Like imagine Jon coming out, because he's gonna come out the same way he did, laughing.
Boom.
And Stipe, what drives me nuts, so here we go on change. What drives me nuts about this guy is he's not that guy on camera. He doesn't sell fights.
No.
He has no emotion. You even get him on interviews, you have to lead him through the interview.
Yeah.
You have to walk him through it.
Yeah.
He won't say anything definite. He doesn't stand for nothing, right? He's just there.
Yeah.
Even when, like shit, Jon Jones calls him out the biggest fight ever in the UFC, the big moment where he took out Cyril Gane, calls out Stipe.
Yep.
Is that his name? What's his name again?
Stipe.
What is Stipe?
I thought he was actually going to come into the octagon.
They put the camera on him, he's like this.
Yeah. No expression.
He didn't even say, come on.
Yeah.
Or let's go, or he did.
Nothing.
Because if it was Gregor, you wouldn't have to do that, he would have been in the ring already. He'd have hopped the ropes and mouth off his wife. Like he would have sold the shit.
Yeah.
So that's where his really big problem is. There's still an entertainment aspect to it.
Yeah.
And not even that, it's just that have a guy, a damn personality.
Personality, character.
Unless that is your personality, but then sell it. Then don't even talk and be angry at everyone and mouth people off or something. Like you're saying, the heel and the babyface.
Yeah.
The heel and babyface. He's neither.
He's in the middle. Yeah.
Then become a heel.
Yeah. Yeah.
But they even say with Ngannou, they said, no, it'd be best, have him just never talk. Just walk out there like a beast. People are like, what the?
Yeah.
like the mystery guy.
Yeah.
Holy shit! I mean, the size.
Put him with a Heyman type of a, like a.
Oh yeah. Just have a manager walk him out. And then he does all the talk.
Some mouthpiece. Yeah.
And just melts off. Yeah, like
that's it.
Crazy talk. Like a hype man almost. Just talk him up. Yeah. But then they get too theatrical. Then people are thinking that now this is bullshit.
That used to be basically like the thing with Fedor Emelianenko back in the day.
Oh yeah, there's mystery because he still doesn't even speak English.
He doesn't speak English.
But now he's sort of not washed up. He's over there. He's over.
He's like 100 years old now.
Yeah. So now it's not the same. Yeah. But before it was like, who the hell is this
guy? One of the things I was going to mention with because you had mentioned about like how like the last few fights with Jon Jones, right, and the difference with coming into this fight, right? Jon Jones himself, actually, one of the things that he said was that with some of those last fights that he had in the light heavyweight division, he wasn't scared anymore.
That's true.
Right? He lost his fear, right? Like there's a healthy fear. George St. Pierre has spoken about this too, right? Like there's a healthy fear.
George St. Pierre hates to fight,
right?
The fear he gets, he just wishes like, take me out of here. I want home.
But there's a healthy amount of fear that you would have, right? Like like that, like it keeps you on your toes, right? Like and it takes that energy to a whole different level, right? And
your heightened reaction response time is all heightened because you're on your toes.
You're on your toes, right? It's just like, oh fuck, right?
You're going there with no fear,
whatever, right? And that's what Jon Jones said happened, like the last few light heavyweight fights that he had, right? And now to go into heavyweight, he had to fear it.
Yeah, and he loves the spotlight too.
Yeah,
the pressure was enormous.
Yeah,
and people were like saying, "Oh, he's gonna lose."
3 years, like
rusty. Look at, and one thing he didn't like is how he's actually like he couldn't get over it. He had to keep bringing it up. He said, "I'm trying not to bring it up, but it's in the back of my mind. I'm trying to like let it go. I'm still an athlete."
Yeah.
Because he's used to like when you get ready for camps, the abs would come out because he's leaning down, but now he's doing the opposite. Right? He's like trying to keep as much body fat on him and still be athletic, yet not worry about the look.
He kept saying it's function, not a bodybuilding competition.
Yeah, but it's when you're insecure about something, you have to keep talking about it.
Yeah,
that's what he was. He's definitely insecure about it. He even admitted he's insecure about it. He's self-conscious about this look or this. And he kept bringing up the belly. He'd always bring it up. So it was driving him nuts. So I understand. Right?
For the next fight, he was saying like he's looking to come in 10 to 15 pounds lighter.
Oh, I think he said heavier. Holy shit.
No, 10 to 15 pounds lighter because like
Stipe's smaller.
Stipe right now is heavier than the two of them.
That's where it's weird. They're all talking about weight. Now all of a sudden weight's the biggest
thing. Right, and it's just like even Jon Jones said like
Jon Jones could come in at 205 and beat up Stipe. That's what I think.
Yeah.
Because you ever see like we're going a long time about Jon Jones. Do you ever see like once in a while you see like it'll come up on ESPN or something his like grappling tournament. He enters grappling tournaments and does like little novelty or specialty matches.
Yeah.
And he's like killing people in there too. Like he's a hell of a good grappler.
Well, he's been wrestling since he was a little kid.
Like he's like way better than people think he is.
Oh yeah.
That's why he made it look so easy. He's like a high level grappler.
Yeah.
And also high level MMA grappler, right?
Right.
So he made Cyril Gane look, and I know he did this on purpose. He kept calling people kept calling him Cyril Gane, and every time Jon Jones said his name, Cyril Gane, he said it, and that's how the people are correcting him. They're not correcting him, but they're like when he was saying Gane, they would say, okay, so Cyril Gane is looking like this, but you never, if you wanted to, you're like, oh shit, it's Gane. You'd say, oh, it's Gane. Okay, you correct yourself.
Yeah.
You never did. I think it's just a mind tactic.
Oh yeah.
Just to show a little disrespect.
Yeah, a little disrespect. Oh yeah.
Because like if that's your name, that's gonna bug you. Even if it doesn't bother you a lot, it's gonna bug you a little bit. So You're hearing like it's like me calling you GP. And keep on saying it. They say, so JP is gonna be doing it. Oh yeah, so GP is gonna like And it's gonna be like, come on, man. You're like, what the fuck are you doing? I'm trying to bug. You're just trying to bother.
Yeah.
And it's working.
Yeah,
it's working.
Yeah, exactly.
You're irritating me.
That's it.
That's the real guy that jersey drove me nuts. It even looked like, because he made it look so easy, it made it look like Cyril Gane was in the trying. But we know he was. It's just that Jon Jones is so good.
Yeah.
He made it look like that. Right?
Yeah. Exactly.
Wow.
And Cyril Gane is not like a very, you know, like over the top emotion type of guy to begin with.
Yeah, he'll lose and say, oh, well, I guess I need to work on some
And
stuff.
he just kind of sat there for a bit and like, you know, whatever, right? And it's just like, did you just roll over like that on purpose?
Or even if you won or lost, he's kind of like level.
He's very neutral.
Yeah.
Right?
That's good for sports because you don't get highs and lows.
Yeah.
But
It doesn't sell. It's not entertaining.
he's not entertaining either. Like,
Yeah.
Jon Jones is the most electrifying, like, entertaining thing that's happened in the heavyweight division in a long time.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Other than Brock Lesnar.
Yeah.
But that's
That's been a while.
that's just crazy.
Yeah.
And now I think he's done with that. I'm pretty sure you won't see him in the
Oh yeah. Not in the UFC. No, definitely not.
Okay, shit. What else is on the card?
Shevchenko.
Yeah. What'd you think of that match? What'd you think? How did you think it was going up until it wasn't?
I was actually admiring. What was it? Alexa Grasso? Was Grasso her last name? I think Alexa Grasso.
Grasso. Alexa Grasso and Valentina Shevchenko.
I was really admiring Grasso's boxing.
No, it was solid, especially the first round.
It was solid. She was tight. She was like, you know, like in a nice defensive tuck. You know, like I kept like highlighting that to my son.
Oh, really? Okay.
Right?
See, I have more boxing background that way. I just noticed it was good. I didn't notice the nice tuck
like
and stuff.
because as much as Shevchenko is an absolute beast, and you know, like obviously, like you know, her kicks and everything, like you know, her more well-rounded game and like whatever,
Yeah.
right? But like, you know, when they're standing there in front of each other and they're going back and forth in boxing, it was just like, you could just see like Shevchenko just does not have the level of boxing.
Yeah, she didn't want to be there.
The level of boxing was totally different, right? Like Shevchenko's here, right? So like, you know, my chin is exposed, it's a lot easier to hit me in the face.
I wonder if that's anything to do with Muay Thai. And
Grasso's
stuff.
here.
Oh no, actually Muay Thai they get like this too, right? But she did more kickboxing.
Yeah,
or
Muay Thai they're here.
Okay, so Shevchenko was kickboxing before. Did they keep their head tucked or did they keep it open because of the feet?
I think generally they borrow a lot of like the similar type of, you know, hand type of stuff, like with.
But whatever it is, Shevchenko never had the problem before, so why correct it, right? But now
Well, that's the
she
thing.
realizes what problem she had, and she also
Yeah.
spins way too much. Obviously, is what we're talking about.
Yeah.
Her spinning, like she spins for like not the smartest reasons, like so much that they even.
Well, she dominates so much on a regular basis.
It's like what? Yeah, just do what you do.
You just do whatever the hell you're
You
gonna
don't
do.
have to adapt because just do what you do.
Because you got no fear.
Yeah.
Right? Because it's like, you know, like if you're in there, let's say with like, you know, like a really good grappler or somebody who's like gonna really like know how to time, like, you know, when you spin and like, you know, whatever, right? Like
She probably wouldn't have did that because she would have the fear.
You expose yourself, right? Like now all of a sudden you're
Because this other girl's not known for grappling, she was known for boxing. So it's like, okay, if you can beat her boxing, you got some in the bag.
So you might as well be flashy, right? Like Anderson Silva styles, right? Like, you know what I mean? Like,
And she started coming along, like the first round, okay, you can maybe give it to Grasso because close round, but then second, third, well, I don't know when it actually ended, but the next parts of the fight, pretty much Valentina was winning. It wasn't like dominating, but she was winning.
yeah.
But then, yeah, the spins and stuff, like, so, explain what happened. I'm not sure, do you know what round it was? I can't remember.
I can't remember. Like, it was
third or fourth.
Third or fourth, I want to say, something like that, right? Like,
This is where we don't rehearse, right? We just go with
that's it. We're just going with it, right?
we didn't
fourth
watch-
is jumping in my head, but I can't tell you that for sure right now.
That's what I want to think, but I could be wrong. But yeah, so what?
But literally, like, yeah, like I mean, like, you know, like Shevchenko was closer by the fence.
Yeah.
You know, like she went to deliver a spinning hook kick, I guess. And just in the process of like, you know, as soon as she went to turn her back, Grasso pounced on her, instantly, right on her back.
And it was so fast, like it couldn't have been any better. Like, the
It
timing
was like
perfect.
it was perfect, right? And like as soon as she jumped on her, like, you know, like the arm went across the neck, and you know, like and before you knew it, the choke is in, and there's nothing that Shevchenko can do, right? Like, you know, like pulled her back. Grasso pulled her back onto. So Grasso was on her own back, Shevchenko on top, and I don't know if you noticed that replay that they ended up doing. So so the choke,
It wasn't like a neck crank because
it was more of a neck crank. Yeah, because it didn't get under the chin, right? So it wasn't like a full-on choke itself. Like the forearm basically came like across the bottom part of the jaw, right? And so like, you know, if you imagine just here on the jaw, so generally speaking, if you're defending against
that's where you want to be.
A choke, that's where you want to be, right? Because like it's like, hey, you're not choking me out, right? But she put so much pressure on this part of the jaw. I don't know if you saw that replay after where in slow motion they ended up doing it after, right? Like where as soon as she, like, you know, when she tapped and like she was released, so her whole head was beat red.
Oh my God.
Okay? Except that whole strip across her bottom part of her jaw.
Oh my gosh.
Because of all the pressure, like this was white. Like white, there was no blood. And then the rest of her was like, it's like she had a sunburn from here to here. And it stopped, like basically like right here. And then the rest of it was just pure white.
But tell me the craziest part about that. Like what's the backstory?
With,
well, the craziest part about the Alexa Grasso that she was preparing for.
oh, the training part.
Yeah, come on, that's the best part of the story.
She trained for it on purpose. Like she was saying, like she said, like she goes, like, you know what, like I know that Shevchenko throws a lot of spinning stuff, right? And she goes like, we trained specifically to time that. As soon as she's gonna spin,
She was just waiting for it.
She was just waiting for it.
They
She
knew
was-
it was coming. They
Yeah.
got, this is gonna come.
Yeah.
That's how much like people like study Shevchenko and how I don't know, transparent she is, right?
just watch the videos. Yeah.
They showed Alexa Grasso backstage training. They showed footage of her training before they going out for their match.
Yeah.
Practicing or
Yeah.
preparing. Did the exact sequence.
Yeah.
Exactly. Her coach spun. She jumped on her back.
Yeah.
And then went right into that. Right.
Done.
But they didn't train. What people were watching, the MMA critics and people who cover MMA and all this kind of stuff on YouTube and all that stuff, right? They were saying they don't understand why did Shevchenko drop to her knee so fast? Like she must have thought that she could, like she would had a grappling. Like she must not have been too.
Like as soon as she grabbed her?
She must have, yeah. As soon as she grabbed her, she dropped to her knees. Whereas most people wouldn't do that. They're like wondering why would she do that? She must have thought that she
Probably would be
could
able
get
to
out of it.
Yeah.
Like she wasn't too worried about it. Like
Yeah.
let me get out of this.
Yeah.
Like the normal person would have stayed up, went against the fence and all that kind of stuff. Like, or you stay up as long as you can, right?
Yeah.
Because when you drop your knees, now you just gave her like to hook it even better and hook your leg and all that stuff, right?
Depends. Yeah.
Because, well, the problem was because she practiced. She was like, it's routine. She's like, practicing.
boom.
So as soon as she got in the situation, it's like, oh, you want to go your knees even better because in her practicing she had to break her down to her knees. We want to get her to that point. No, she went right into it. So
Yeah.
okay, you just made it easier for us.
Yeah.
She didn't realize what she was walking into. She basically walked into what Alexa Grasso was practicing all along. Like,
Yeah.
You did exactly what she wanted you to do.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter how much of the round you're winning, that one mistake
That's
cost you.
it. Cost you. It's done.
Like, I can guarantee
And Shevchenko was pissed at
she's
her.
not going to do any spinning kicks anymore.
Yeah.
Against her, at least.
Yeah.
And it just looked crazy.
And she said, like, you know, like Shevchenko said after,
if I
like,
did that one spinning kick,
you know, like, yeah,
I would have won.
she goes, I was winning, and I did one stupid thing, and that's it. Right?
That's,
You know, like, and she was.
you know what's funny about Valentina Shevchenko? Chael Sonnen talks all the time about her and says she's got to stop being the nice girl because she's not a nice girl.
Yeah.
She can kill, she knows 9 languages.
She was poor sport about this
She
one.
has tattoos, she can kill anybody. This is not a nice girl. She's
Yeah.
not at home raising kids and
Yeah.
whatever. Like,
Yeah.
she's not a little housewife. This is no nice girl.
Yeah.
So I don't know why she's talking to the media like she's a nice girl.
Yeah.
Like, why don't she just come out
She's an animal.
and talk about how she's gonna kill people and this and that?
Yeah.
Because she's, like you said, she's an animal.
Yeah.
I wouldn't want to fight her. Like, and she shoots guns and all. Nice girls don't do this.
She's a beast.
So
Oh, yeah.
she goes on all these interviews and puts a little dress on, talks nice.
Yeah.
He says that's why she's the co-main event.
Yeah.
Like and talk about how you're gonna beat people up and all this, that, and the other, and no one can beat you and this and that
Yeah.
or whatever. Just be yourself, like
Yeah.
because that's what people want to see.
Yeah. Just be the
And you
villain.
could be a main event.
Oh yeah.
That's what he's saying.
Yeah.
But did you hear this story? Oh my God. This could be wrong, right? I don't know.
Yeah.
Because Chael Sonnen, so Chael Sonnen once in a while will throw out a story that's absolutely a fake story, but he'll sell like it's real.
Oh yeah.
So the story he's selling right now is there's a three-way triangle. Valentina, Shevchenko, Holly Holm, Jon Jones. Did you hear this one? So Chael Sonnen's going around, he's doing a little tour for Bellator, but he's throwing this little tidbit out at everybody, and everyone that asks him questions, he says, what do you think it is?
Yeah.
They say it's a triangle.
I think that there might be
She could sell out an arena to fight Holly Holm if they would just tell the story.
And what's the
Right?
story? What's
What would the story be?
Yeah.
What would
Let's
the
just
story be?
think
I
of
have
an
no clue.
imaginary
Where you
trial.
got Holly over here, you got Valentina here, and you got Jon over here. Now, I'm not connected, but these are your three. What would the story possibly be?
Maybe Jon Jones was like in an intimate relationship, perhaps with Holly Holm.
That could be very interesting.
Let's just make it up. Yeah.
The bullet Shevchenko came in and stole Jon Jones from.
If that
So
happened,
Holly would fight the bullet, and Holly would want to get revenge on the girl that stole her man.
That'd be
And
crazy.
the bullet who lives over here got assigned to the March 4th card, which Jon Jones is headlining, and they're all at the same hotel right now.
Oh no! Wow. It looks like the wrong fight. It's on that
my
co-main
gosh.
event.
I don't know. That's an incredible tale that you're
That'd be crazy if that happened.
Yeah, and but imagine that happened, and they came out and they told the world instead of hiding behind it. Imagine the interest that you could possibly have. One is the world champion who's won more world championships. The other's not. Do you understand that?
So you want her to say, "I stole your man."
I want her to come
And
out
I want
and
to
be
knock
interesting.
you out afterwards.
Yeah, I don't want her to come out and do this pretending she speaks 7 languages. I don't want her to come out and pretend that she's trained in the military. I don't want her to come out and act. She's got a sister in the business. Her mother was a world champion. She grew up in a very rough household, and she is an incredible story, an incredible product of a very difficult upbringing. She is not a kindergarten teacher. She is not a...
He says they could sell this biggest super fight ever. He says all Valentina has to do is just tell the story, and she's going to have herself a super fight. Because he says they're close enough in weight. There was a triangle with these three. We know what a triangle means. Like, we know what he's implying.
Yeah.
Whether we find out it's not truth or not, but that's quite the accusation to throw it around if it's not true, right? So apparently there was like a three-way triangle here.
Yeah.
And I don't know who he said won, but I think he's saying that Holly Holm won.
Okay.
Like won Jon Jones, right?
Yeah.
So he's saying this would be the biggest super fight. He said if these two girls would tell their story, this would be the biggest super fight for women's history.
Oh yeah. Right.
So all they do is come out and tell the story,
Yeah.
and it'll sell itself.
Good lord.
So he's saying this would be the biggest super fight. Pay-per-views are going to be huge.
Yeah.
They just got to tell the story.
Good
And
grief.
he's calling them all three out. He's like, he said, it's not for me to tell.
Oh yeah.
He just told him. He's like, telling it, but he's not telling it.
Yeah.
He says, but it's for them to tell.
Yeah.
He said, if they would just come out and tell their story,
Wow.
but it's for them to tell.
Yeah.
What else could it be though? Because he's pretty slick. Like, could it be something else?
Yeah. Right.
Like, what else could it be?
Yeah.
He's saying triangle. He's saying like it's a huge story. He's saying they'd want to fight.
Yeah.
It has to be that.
Yeah. Doesn't make sense out of it.
And we didn't even say what it is. But
Yeah, right.
but we know what we're talking about. We don't have to say it. It's like a Chael. And Chael went on many talk shows or MMA shows talking about this.
Oh yeah.
And all of them are, like, all the interviewers are like going crazy about this, right? Like, they're loving it.
Good lord.
So that's some little fun about Valentina.
There we go.
See, if you just tell who she really is, apparently she's not the good girl we think she is.
Yeah, right.
And she's trying to sell as a good girl.
Yeah.
I know she's a strict martial artist, and she's trying to be like whatever honorable and all that kind of stuff, but just like Chael said, just be yourself. You're gonna sell some fucking, you're gonna make some money. It's all about, because Chael's all about making money.
Oh yeah.
He talks about fucking taking steroids and all that shit. He didn't care. Chael didn't give a
He
shit.
was, I think, like, you know, when I think back on
the
it,
best shit
Chael was
talker
like,
ever.
yeah, I think he was the first hype guy that I remember from back when.
I remember, because this is what Chael was saying. Chael's recently doing a little tour around it, but for some reason he's coming out and talking crazy.
Yeah.
Like he's taking his shit talking to a whole different level. Like he's telling the honest truth about everything now, right? So he's saying back in the day, like he was trying to shit talk from day one, but this is martial arts. It's honorable. No one would let him do it. Even interviewers would say, we can't run this interview.
Can't say that, yeah.
Like he would say crazy shit about his opponents, and they wouldn't run it. He just had to keep saying it, and eventually someone would let it go.
Yeah.
And then they realized this sells pay-per-views, this sells fights. Like he said he made $8.8 million we don't know. Like, no one knows if he's telling the truth or not, because even the guys were asking, are you telling us the truth right now?
Yeah.
That made $8.8 million. So when he fought Anderson Silva.
Oh yeah.
But he shit talked his way to all the
Oh,
way.
that was hyped. Like, I remember, like, I was pumped.
Yeah, and then he shit talked himself. He said, I wouldn't have fought Jon Jones if it wasn't for my shit talk.
Oh, no.
I shit talked my way all the way up.
No, he didn't deserve it.
He said Jon Jones kicked my ass.
Oh yeah.
But I shit talked my way all the way up there.
Yeah. Yeah.
He said it was my mouth that got me there.
Yeah. Yeah.
So that's kind of
well, like leading into the second Anderson Silva fight, I think.
Oh
it was the
my
second
God, this is funny.
When he comes out, right?
No, do you remember the Nogueira brothers and the bus, and they were petting the bus, and they wanted to feed the bus a carrot. I'll put that clip in here. It's hilarious as hell.
I don't know if I ever saw that.
Oh my God! I wish I had a phone right here. If you were to see me laugh your ass off.
I was in Las Vegas when the Nogueira brothers first touched down in America. There was a bus this is a true story. There was a bus that pulled up to a red light, and Little Nog tried to feed it a carrot while Big Nog was petting it. He thought it was a horse. This really happened. Do you believe me that happened?
Not really.
He tried to feed a bus a carrot, and now you're telling me that country has computers? I didn't know that. I did not know that.
When's the last time you went to Brazil?
I was just there.
Will you be in Brazil with Yushin when he fights Anderson?
Do you remember when I said he fed the bus a carrot?
I do.
Were you even listening? Is this thing on? Is this on? And then the other one was petting the bus, saying, "Whoa, big fella." He thought it was a horse. And now you're telling me they have computers in Brazil? That's crazy to me. What was your question?
Will you be in Brazil with Yushin when he fights Anderson?
Absolutely.
Really?
Of course. Wouldn't miss it.
Thanks for the time.
It's a pleasure.
It's good to see you.
Let me ask you a question.
Yes.
Do you remember when I said horse a minute ago? But it was actually a bus, and both the
Yes.
Can you remember that?
I do.
And he tells it with a straight face to Ariel Helwani, and Ariel Helwani's like, because he said this is like when you first started talking real shit talk, where even the Ariel Helwani, he said, because it was so new the shit talk that Ariel Helwani didn't even know how to respond to what he was saying. He's like,
what is happening? Yeah.
And he was selling with a straight face. Imagine someone telling you the craziest story that you know there's not even like a 1% chance of being true, but he's selling it.
Yeah.
And he's telling it like it's true.
Oh yeah.
And then you're like, did that happen?
Yeah.
But you know it couldn't have happened, but did it happen?
Yeah. It gives you just enough doubt.
Yeah, it's like, because Chael was the master.
Oh yeah.
Do you really believe that Minotauro thought that a bus was a horse?
That happened. Now that happened. He stuck that carrot in the grill, and his brother was, whoa, big fella. Like, I couldn't believe he might have thought it was a llama or a cow. I don't know, but he was trying to take it home. They were going to lasso that thing. He was taking his belt off. He was going to take that thing home like as a pet. That got awkward for everybody around.
I'm going to ruin your story. Do you remember what you were going to talk about?
Oh yeah.
Okay. So then Chael also talked about, he implied he robbed banks.
Oh yeah, right.
In his interviews.
Yeah.
And they're like, is this true? He said, yeah, I robbed banks. They're like, how much did you get? He said, you got 15 million. He's like, but then somehow he talked his way out of it. And then they just let him go. Just admit you robbed the bank and we'll let you go.
Yeah.
And so he admitted he robbed the bank. He says, all you gotta do is admit I robbed the bank and I keep all the money.
That's it.
So there's no way if that was a true story, you'd be just talking that openly about it.
Yeah.
He says, yeah, I couldn't even, I was, I don't know.
Good Lord.
I don't know, it's not even, Chael is one freaking funny character. And the guy is like, he does all this crazy shit, and yet he doesn't swear, which is hilarious. And he's also a guy, and another thing you would never guess, he doesn't drink.
Oh yeah.
So he's right up your alley, except for you do steroids. Because basically he just thought of steroids and said, yeah, of course I took supplements. Well, did they take something to improve your performance? Well, duh, why else would I take it?
Yeah.
Of course I took it.
Yeah.
But basically in his era, you got to understand that everyone took it. It was just, he said before it was more of which is an IQ test. It was like, because you know the test is coming, so it's an IQ test of knowing when to time all your shit.
Oh,
it wasn't a drug test, it was an IQ test.
Yeah.
If you're an idiot, you got caught.
Yeah.
But later it became like a drug test, that's when he got caught, right? But
Yeah.
before it was always an IQ test, so you always beat the test. Because he knows, okay, if I
Beat
go
the
to this
system.
tournament here, or this, if I have this match here, they're gonna test me after, okay, so for 2 weeks before I don't take nothing, or whatever the fuck, right?
Yeah.
Or even before when they do IVs, because I guess that washes it all out.
Oh yeah. Okay.
Whatever, so that's why they tried to ban IVs. It wasn't for anything other, it was because that could wash out whatever.
Dilutes everything. I
Yes,
guess.
whatever. They know all this shit.
Yeah.
I guess when you're in that scene, you know all this shit, because everyone's
Yeah.
doing it.
Yeah.
Because these things, sorry, I'm gonna go. This is where I ruined the video, right? I ruined the flow for JP. Because he's even said, they even asked him, hey, so was Jon Jones, when you fought Jon Jones, were you on drugs? He said, yeah. He's like, oh, I said, okay, well, was Jon Jones? And he says, hell yeah, he was.
Yeah.
We're both on drugs. It's like, oh my God. You know, Jon Jones, obviously now is
And it's like for Jon Jones, it'd be like, which
Jake
drugs
John's
was he
like,
on?
hey, like Jon Jones is still like an active fighter. He's like, hey, don't say that shit.
Which drugs was he on? Right?
You gotta catch me.
Yeah.
Go ahead. Now you might forget your story.
What I was gonna say is I think it was like before the second Anderson Silva fight. So, you know, Chael finishes with his opponent, right? Like he's in the post-fight interview. Joe Rogan jumps into the octagon, right? It's like, you know, and before he gets to like any kind of like, you know, I can't remember if Joe even managed to ask a question, but before Chael even says anything else about anything, grabs the microphone and just like, Anderson Silva, you absolutely suck.
When was that? Right after what fight?
I think that was like right before the second Anderson Silva fight.
So he must have beat someone in the ring?
So he beat somebody in the ring
He said that.
to re-earn like the shot, like, you know, like basically towards Anderson. And
the thing that was crazy is he was beating Anderson Silva's ass, but apparently Anderson just still had like damaged ribs and all kinds of shit, so he took him down. He couldn't. That's what they're saying.
Yeah.
But basically, manhandled him. He took him down. He kept taking him down. He took him down for 5 rounds. Basically.
But never mind that, because like if you go back to the clips, right? Like he punched Anderson and dropped him.
Oh, he basically kicked his ass.
He kicked his ass.
He said, "Where else in this world do you beat a guy's ass for 49 minutes and then for 20 seconds he wraps his legs around your neck and he's called the champ."
Yeah.
Something like that. It was a hilarious line he said.
Yeah.
It's like, that makes sense.
Yeah.
But then even second fight he got his ass.
Second fight he got his ass beat. Yeah.
Because he knew, because basically what it is you learn your lesson, right? You're like, okay, and now you know what to.
Yeah.
That's where sometimes rematches are messed up, because sometimes like there's one huge advantage that person had that won the fight because it's one reason.
Yeah.
So they negate that one reason and they dominate.
That's it. Yeah.
If that was the only reason.
Yeah.
But if it's like there's a close fight, then anything can happen. But if you know the guy beat you because of wrestling, now if you somehow figure out how to stop that wrestling, then you're gonna kick his ass.
Oh yeah. That's it.
Unless it's Khabib, and then he's gonna wrestle you no matter what.
Yeah. Exactly.
You're getting wrestled no matter what. He wrestled bears, right? So
Yeah, exactly.
it's really tough. Now that we do this, we're going back to your old stomping ground. You used to do the MMA camp.
MMA freak.
MMA freak.
Yeah.
So basically, we might have to segue into that shit. I think we should have an MMA segment because I'm a sad person, right? I work out. I do stuff with the IDFA Fitness and UFC. That's all I do. So UFC is UFC stuff and combat fighting, combat sports, as far as a spectator, is like what I do the most. If I have a hobby or a passion or a sport I like following, it's UFC.
Yeah.
That's my thing.
Yeah.
And it's gotten better than ever. For a while there was a phase where it did slow down for a while.
Yeah.
But it's fucking up and running, man. It's crazy. The stuff's going on is amazing.
Yeah.
So I'm a huge MMA fan. So we could even fuck, man.
Be all over the map here.
Like I could literally, we still have another couple topics I want to talk about, but I think we're going to an hour here.
Oh yeah.
Unless we do it real quick. Let's just do it real quick.
What's this?
The flying knee that was heard from around the world.
Masvidal.
Holy shit.
Game Bread is in the building. And these guys just flapping gums at each other any chance they get. The fight clock is brought to you by Modelo. One of the greatest knockouts you'll ever see!
Oh my goodness!
Askren stiff as a board!
Oh my goodness! Oh my goodness!
So what?
We're going back a few years.
Yeah, so if we're going back a few years. Is Ben Askren.
Yeah.
Ben Askren came from another league. He got traded over to the UFC.
Yeah.
For Mighty Mouse. What's his name?
Demetrius Johnson.
Demetrius Johnson. So he got traded. Basically, it was like a trade.
Yeah.
Never done before in history. But
Never since.
Never since, because but it was just some crazy trade. I guess Demetrius Johnson badly wanted out to give one fighting championships a shot.
Yeah.
And Ben Askren was like their champion over there. But
Yeah.
Ben always wanted to go to the UFC. And Dana White always said, we don't want that guy because he's boring and he's bullshit to watch, right?
He's a grappler, and like pretty much only a grappler, right? So like he takes you down, basically like controls you on the ground. Yeah, so basically like, with Ben Askren, like, because he's basically only a grappler, like a wrestling background, but like he doesn't really have submissions that much, I don't think. He's not much of a striker on the ground. He's not going to do much damage or whatever, right? But
definitely not a striker on the feet.
He's not a striker on the feet, right? You just know he's going to take you down, and that's what cues up this Jorge Masvidal thing.
You said it right. There we go. I hate when people call him George Masvidal. That drives me nuts.
No, it's Jorge, man.
But some people do that. I think they just do it to bug him.
Right.
So what it was, they came out to the ring, and Jorge just sits there in the cage. His typical thing we always do is he leans on the cage.
Yeah, just nice and
chilling.
boring.
He's just chilling like he's not. Yeah, he behind his back.
Always
Right?
behind his back.
That's it. Yeah. So that's why you're here. You're the MMA freak. So he definitely put his hand behind his back, just chilling. Look, like, his jaw's just racing like a son of a bitch. He's just sitting like it's cool, like nothing's happening, just
cool as can be.
And then you got Ben Askren over here. He's ready. He knows exactly. Ben Askren knows what he's gonna do. So Jorge just, like, full speed runs at the guy. And of course, Ben Askren doesn't even look. He just these legs, and he bends over to grab them without even looking. Like it's just a natural reaction. He can't even stop himself. You see someone coming, because 9 times out of 10, or even 9.9 times out of 10, you do that, you're gonna grab the guy and pick him up.
Yeah.
And take him down. He's going down.
Yeah.
If someone barrels at you, he's going down.
Yeah.
But he has so perfectly timed. He knew exactly where the guy's head's going to go. He came in through a flying knee and knocked the guy flat out.
Dead.
Yeah, like. Basically,
the exact thing.
It had to have gone perfectly, or he's good. Basically, he even knew. Jorge said he even knew this has to go perfectly, or I'm on my ass, and I have to figure out how to get up.
Yeah.
Because if I don't land this, I'm going down.
Oh yeah.
Because I'm running at this guy. He's got. This is like for a wrestler's dream is for a guy to run at you like this. Because you're just gonna take him up, double leg, boom, he's on the ground, and now I'm gonna win this.
Yeah.
I'm gonna win this first round.
Yeah.
But he had a plan. And I love when these guys practice this plan.
Yeah.
And he practiced. Yeah, so it was just crazy, knocked out, cold, and Ben Askren, and he handled it well though. Like he was like making jokes about it because he said, "What else am I gonna do?"
Yeah.
He says, "I go from here, and tomorrow, like this isn't my life isn't over. I go and I practice. I have to go wrestle with these kids. These guys are wrestling schools and stuff.
Yeah.
I have to go wrestle with the kids. Like that's my real life. So this is what. So in that way, it makes you feel like good for the guy. Like, this guy, like,
that's it.
He's bigger. Like, some people some people this would have been devastating, but for him, he
because
he even jokes around about it. He said, "Oh yeah, I'm the guy who got knocked out like in 5 seconds or something."
I'm the meme.
Yeah, he was a meme and everything. But it didn't carry on for too long because why? Because the way he handled it.
Yeah.
He let it just slide. He's like, whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah. Apparently, he was like he was sort of on his he was on his trail end of his career anyways, right? Like he just went to the UFC and make some money.
When I read about even just before that trade happened, for all intents and purposes, he says he was retired.
So basically, he came out of retirement.
He was done.
UFC wants me, I'd come out of retirement for that.
Okay, let's go.
some good paychecks.
Yeah.
And he basically almost got his ass kicked by Lawler too, but he somehow pulled that off with some kind of crazy headlock thing or whatever.
I don't even remember that fight.
Bulldog headlock. Well, Lawler almost knocked him. I would think for some reason the referee let it go.
An animal.
They let it go longer than they should have. He was getting destroyed. Most people would have stopped it.
Yeah.
But I guess they know that he's the type of guy who.
Maybe Herb Dean was the.
Maybe.
Right?
Yeah, he lets go.
Either him or Mario. Oh, his name? Mario Yamamoto, was it?
You know the guy that Dana White hates that guy?
Yeah.
So that guy shouldn't be referee.
Yeah.
What does he either stop fights early or stop fights late? One or the other.
One or the other. I think it's late.
But yeah, so they just let it go, but then he eventually got into some kind of weird headlock, and they said that he tapped him, but then Lawler said he didn't tap, and all. There's a lot of controversy.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think he did tap him out, because he got into some kind of weird, because apparently he's got wrestler strength. Like, if he gets a hold of you, he doesn't look as, like, he looks like, he's got the dad bod.
He's got the dad bod.
He's got the dad bod of dad bods.
Yeah.
Like,
The epitome of dad bod.
You see this guy walk out, you're like,
Yeah. And with this like stupid little curly hair.
Yeah, he's the guy you don't want to lose to. He's the guy you don't want to be like, what do you call it? Like nut hugging you or something.
You can't judge a book by its cover, right?
Well, apparently he was always like a weird dude, even when wrestling. Like all this stuff was unorthodox. Like, what did he just do? He did weird shit, but he win. Like he'd create moves that worked for him.
Yeah. I remember like even like back in the day when I used to go to martial arts tournaments and whatnot, right? I was what, like 20, and
you can remember that far back,
right? That's a long ass time ago, right?
I can't remember anything when I was 20.
But I remember walking into like a few of these tournaments, right? And especially like you feel like you got some shit going on, right? So you're sizing some guys up and like checking everybody out over there, right? And there's a few that like you don't even pay attention to these guys.
Yeah, they're the ones.
Because they just look like what are they gonna do, right? And then all of a sudden you see them in action when it's their turn to like have their match or like whatever, right? It's like, oh shit. It's like, I'm not messing with that guy. Right? Do not judge book by its cover.
No, yeah, especially when it comes to like grappling. Or even MMA stuff, some of these heavyweights are like, what the hell? They haven't destroyed people, right?
Yeah, in my tournaments that I was at, it was all like Taekwondo, karate, like all striking based type of stuff, right? These guys are doing all this like, holy shit.
You see these kids doing these spin kicks and flips, and it's like, what are you doing? It's insane. They're doing this crazy shit.
Yeah.
And you make like and you're going to practice, like say I was an adult who took Taekwondo too, right? In my 20s, right? So I did it, and then you see these little kids like flying around, flipping, and like, okay, I'm out of here. I want to learn to
George
do that,
Costanza, I'm out!
Yeah, but I'll never learn that stuff.
Yeah.
You're like, I don't even want to, you're teaching me all this little stuff. I don't care about that stuff. I want to learn that.
Yeah.
Let's go right to there.
There you go.
I want to look like I know how to fight.
That's it.
I don't want to learn how to fight.
Just make it look like I do.
I don't want to get the belts and all that stuff. I want to be able to like, if I want to make a video clip, I can do that.
Yeah, it's like Instagram stuff.
I need Instagram footage.
That's it.
That was before Instagram.
There we go.
I just wanted like the Hollywood glamour. I went through a martial arts where I thought it was all pretty stuff. Taekwondo was the one at the time.
Yep.
Oh yeah. That's it. Okay, shit. All right. I feel like we talked a lot.
Yep.
That's it. That was episode 14.
14, baby.
Thanks for sticking in there. And then, I think we're going to start throwing a little bit more MMA footage in here. So if you guys want to hear more about MMA or UFC, let us know.
Let's go.
That's it. Okay. Oh my God.